Hey mini enthusiasts, how are you doing? Welcome back. Hope you're well and I hope you are having a great day. As the video title suggests, yes, I've done it. I've gone and bought another project, but this one is going to be a little bit different. This is going to be a budget project build and I am not going to go mad. It is not going to be the same sort of restoration as I've done on Sprout, TARDIS, PL, Vinny in the past. It is not going to be a no expenses spared nut and bolt restoration. This one is going to be basically just saving a car, because I think this car is just about at the point it's savable and we can keep another Mini on the road. And the idea with this build is to flip it, is to not fully restore it, is to get it back running, get it back as a usable car, and sell it on, allow someone else that joy, that expense of, if they want, then making it their own car, and you know, maybe them doing a full nut and bolt restoration or doing, you know, additional bodywork and that sort of thing. So this is really, it's a budget build. We're going to try and do it as cheap as possible. The car, the idea with this, like I say, is I'm going to flip the car. So the car is always for sale. So we'll get into what it costs in a moment. But at the moment, the car is for sale. And as we go through the sort of recommission of this car, the restoration of this car, it will be for sale at any point. And I'm not looking to make big profits here. I'm not really looking to make a profit at all. It's just something to keep me busy, keep me interested. I want to save another Mini, and I want something that I can probably pass on to someone else for them to go away and have a reasonably good foundation for them to do more on something. But I think the first thing really is to get this car running, get it road legal or roadworthy, get it MOT'd, but I'm not overly concerned with how it looks, because like I say, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole of spending thousands and thousands on this car and not being able to get my money back. So I'm not looking to make a big profit, but I'm also not looking to lose money. And it's one of those cars, I think, where if I wanted it to look like Sprout, if I wanted it to look as good as that, if I wanted it to look like TARDIS, if I wanted it to look like PL, I would lose money on it. So we'll go out and look at the car at the moment, but the long and the short, it's a Mini City E, it's a 1983, it's an automatic, and it's done 95,000 miles. So as you can imagine, it is not the most desirable Mini. It has pretty much sat around and not moved a wheel for 10 years. It's not quite a barn find. I think it's just been sat in a car park. So the time has taken its toll, and yeah, probably a little bit more than I originally thought when I went and looked at the car. So let's get into the costs of it. I always look for Minis to restore. I'm always on eBay, I'm always on Facebook Marketplace, and it never ceases to amaze me the prices that some or most Minis go for. If you want to buy a Mini project, even a complete and utter rock box, people are asking £2,500, £3,000, £4,000 upwards for something that is just rusty and wants a full, complete restoration. Floors, seals, subframes, you know, front ends, all the body panels. People are still asking for upwards of £2,500, £3,000. So it's very, very rare that you find a Mini that at a price that I would say was reasonable. And I quite often bid on Minis on eBay, and it just amazes me how much I get outbid by sometimes. So this Mini has cost me, I bought this Mini for £2,000, and that included getting it delivered to my home address as well. Now, when I look around, actually, I don't think that's a bad price for a Mini that is reasonably solid. And by reasonably solid, I mean your feet don't go through the floor, that the doors are not hanging off, that it actually has a front end on it. £2,000, I think, and it's a reasonable sort of starting point for a project build. So that's where we are, that's what it's cost. But like I said earlier, this is a car for me to flip. So it is for sale at any point during this restoration or this recommissioning. If you want to buy this Mini today, come and see me, come and speak to me. I'm not looking at making a profit on this car. I will quite happily sell it on to someone to take it away for them to restore it for what it's cost me. So I'm going to keep a very tight control of the cost, what it cost me. I will know at each point how much that Mini owes me. And if someone wants to come and take it off my hand, they want a project to get started with, then come and talk to me. I've got that project. Obviously, as things progress through these videos and things progress through this restoration, recommissioning, it just progressively gets more and more expensive as I put more money onto it. But I'm trying to be quite sensible. The first step will be to get the car running. The next step will be to make sure it's structurally solid. I will then make sure it's mechanically sound and roadworthy. I then want to get the car MOT'd and back on the road, but I'm not overly worried at all about the presentation of the car, the bodywork, the interior. This is just taking a car that has not really turned a wheel since 2011 and getting it to the point it's road legal, roadworthy, back on the road, can be used, and someone else can then take it on and enjoy it as a project. So let me stop waffling on, let's go outside and let's have a look at this project.
So here we go, the new project. Like I said, I got my excuses out early. It is nothing special. It's a 1 litre City E automatic. I think for what it costs, you can't really be fussy. It is probably, now I've had a bit more time to look at it, not quite as good as I thought it was, but I've seen a lot worse. It has been painted in the past. I thought this was original paint, but it's not. It has been resprayed, and I think some bits have been painted over and covered up, which is a bit of a shame. This is literally as it got dropped off to me, so it's not quite a barn find because it wasn't in a barn, but it was just in a corner of a yard, I think for 2 or 3 years. So it's just been out in the elements, lots of cobwebs etc on it. Yeah, the grille is inside the car at the moment. The interior is awful. So it's got Mini 30 half leather seats, which is quite interesting. But the dash, I don't know what's going on there. I think it possibly had a wooden dash in there before, because there's some wooden blocks on the dash and some mounting screws in the top rail. But yeah, it's all a bit of a mess in there at the moment. The main bodywork doesn't look too bad on it though. The A panel here, I did notice that when I looked at it, the A panel's really grotty there. So I'll be putting an A panel on it for sure. It's got standard seals this side, although it's all corroded and it's been patched at the front, so it wants a seal this side, and the other side it's solid but it's an overseal, so I think I'll put 2 seals on it. When I had a look underneath at the rear subframe doesn't look great. It's solid but it's been patched, so I'll probably put a rear subframe in it. I don't like subframes that have been patched up. Bit iffy on the MOT as well, because you're not meant to weld a subframe, or you're not meant to repair one anyway, but lots of people do. Probably the slightly disappointing bit, which I didn't really see that well when I had a look over the car, the front end I thought looked pretty good on it. Scuttle panel, there's no rot at all in the scuttle panel. I did see this bit of rust at the top of the wing here, but this wing looks like the original wing. But when you go around here and look at this wing has definitely been replaced. There's a massive gap there. And then underneath the front of the headlights, this is just, I think, full of filler. So I think with a clean up it will look presentable, but it depends how far I go on it, how involved I get. It's never going to be a show car, or I'm certainly not going to build it to that. Initially I might just get it back up running, fresh MOT on it, and get it usable. Yeah, the floors looked okay. I took the carpets up, the floors are reasonably solid, there's no big gaping holes in there, and inside the rear door bins was very good as well. Inside the boot looks a bit ropey, and I think down in this corner it's not holed, but it's just a bit crusty. So I think when the subframe comes out I might have to repair this rear corner here, and it's had a repair down at this bottom quarter here. You can just see some horrible, well, at least it's good, at least it's someone's welded in a section here by the looks of it, but I guess that's better than filler. Yeah, what else can we say about it? It's got some Rover Mini Light wheels, 12-inch. I think they are genuine Rover Mini Lights. They've got that, I think it's JIL stamped into the side of them. I think they're genuine Rover Mini Lights. But this should be on 10-inch wheels. It's a 1983 car, so it's actually just over a year older than Project TARDIS, but Project TARDIS was one of the first 12-inch wheel minis with disc brakes on the front. This should be on 10-inch wheels, and it's got drum brakes on the front, so that is probably something I will do. I'll convert it to disc brake on the front. Now it's whether I go 8.4-inch discs or whether I go, what is it, 7.9, I can never remember. 7.9 will allow you to fit 10-inch wheels on the front, so I may take it back to 10-inch wheels. In the back there's a few spares in there, grills in the back, pair of mirrors, some front indicators which are the wrong type of indicators, they're for a later Mini, and just a few little bits littered around. Let's have a look under the bonnet. So that's the wrong washer bottle, and the rest of it, it's a bit of a worry that it's been sat around for probably a couple of years plus with no air filter on it, so anything could have gone down inside that carburetor. It's generally quite a bit of a mess under here. The head is black and the block's yellow, so I'm assuming the head might have been off and been replaced at some point. Might be sort of interesting. Maybe it's had some head work. I do notice the whole car, I think it's got a stage 1 kit, so it's got a what's that say? Let me have a look. It's got an alloy inlet manifold, but it says British Car Centre. I've never seen anything like that before. And it's got a takeoff for a servo. This is obviously a non-servo car, and it's a heated inlet manifold, not connected up. I've seen them with mini spares, but that says British Car Centre. It's also got an LCB exhaust, and I noticed it's got a I can't think what the exhaust is on the car, but it's got a modified exhaust like an RC40, similar to an RC40 on it. It might be a power flow exhaust. So it's got an LCB power flow exhaust, alloy inlet manifold, and it looks like the header's different, so it's at least got a stage 1 kit on it. But you can see it's just filthy under there. It is a non-runner, so it doesn't run. The guy said there was problems with the starter motor and the ignition, and it doesn't even have a battery in it at the moment, so the first expenditure on the car is going to be to buy a battery for it, which I'll probably buy online. You can pick them up pretty cheap. Last time I looked, it was about 40 quid, 39 quid you can get battery online, which is cheaper than you can get it with a Halfords trade card. The roof has obviously been painted white, not a fantastic paint job. It's missing the gutter trim. It's got the tech style mirrors on it. I've got a pair of those mirrors which come off TARDIS, so that mirror's cracked. Now my thinking with some of this when I was buying it was, I've got a load of bits which I took off TARDIS which were all good, but I just replaced with new. So potentially I might be able to salvage some parts for sort of recommissioning this car. But yeah, I'm really undecided longer term what to do with it. I'm not going to build it to be like a show car, so I'm not going to get involved in, you know, spotlessly cleaning the underside and respraying it all body colour or anything like that. I'm pretty sure I'll stick a rear subframe in it. I'll stick a pair of seals on it. I'll stick that A panel on it, and I'm probably going to end up sticking a front end on it as well. And then we'll be into some body paint work. Convert it to 7.9 inch discs. I might be wrong there. I'll put a bit of text in. I'm sure they're 7.9s. I'm having a bit of a brain fade this morning, and I'm, like I say, I think it would be good to put it back on 10s because it would have been on 10s originally. And I haven't got a car on 10s. So I've probably waffled on for quite a while. That's probably enough of a walk around for one video. Next steps, I guess. Get down in the description and let me know what you think. Should I get it running? Should I give it a clean off? Should I start stripping it down? I actually think I should probably do it in that order, because there is no space in the garage, so it's going to have to live outside for a little bit longer, which is not a problem. It's been sat outside for, well, forever and a day as far as I know. So another 6 months, a year is not going to harm it. But I'm going to need to move it around and get it in and out the garage, so getting it running is quite a priority. But also, I don't like a horrible looking car sitting on my driveway, so I need to clean it off so at least it doesn't look like it's been abandoned. It probably looks all right in the video, but it is, yeah, I don't know how well that comes out. It is grubby looking. It does look like it's been disowned a little bit. So that is the new project. Be quite an interesting one. This is going to be more of a budget restoration, recommission. We're not going to go mad with this. I might end up eating my own words there, but that's the plan anyway. We're going to do it on a budget. We're going to keep it relatively cheap. It's not going to be a show car. Let's see how things progress. Get down in the description, let me know what you think. What would you do with it? It's not cost a great deal of money to buy. It does want work doing on it, and I don't want to blow the budget and get to the point where it owes me more than it's cost me, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't, but you know what I mean. I don't want to put more money into it. I want to be able to flip it, sell it, and at least get my money back on it.